Meghan Markle was quietly trying to slip back into a circle she once walked away from, the Beckham circle, the same circle she froze out years ago, the same circle that stopped taking her calls long before the public caught on. Insiders say Meghan wanted one thing: a way back into the good graces of Britain's most respected power couple, back into the warmth she once pushed away. But Victoria Beckham is not someone you hurt and casually revisit years later, hoping the wounds fix themselves. So the moment Meghan tried returning, Victoria shut it down instantly, and the world found out why the night she spoke those 7 stunning words on stage. It happened at a polished London gala. Soft lights, cold champagne, and a room full of names powerful enough to stop traffic. Victoria stepped on stage, calm, graceful, iconic. She was simply giving an award, nothing more. But halfway through her speech, the air shifted. She looked straight at a longtime journalist and said, "I kept quiet too long. People need to know what she did." She never said Meghan's name. She didn't have to. And for 11 silent seconds, the entire room froze. Every celebrity leaning forward, realizing they had just witnessed Victoria Beckham break her silence forever.
That was all it took. One phone clip posted before dessert even hit the table, and by sunrise, more than 4 million people had watched Victoria Beckham break years of silence. This wasn't gossip anymore, it was a full story with a beginning, a middle, and a betrayal powerful enough to shake both Hollywood and the UK. But to understand why that single sentence hit like an earthquake, you have to go back to where it started. There was a time Victoria Beckham didn't just tolerate Meghan Markle, she welcomed her. When Meghan first entered the royal spotlight, she was hit with a level of media pressure she had never faced before. Brutal, relentless, and unforgiving. Victoria understood that world better than anyone. She had survived decades of tabloids, paparazzi, and manufactured scandals. So she did something surprisingly rare. She reached out privately, not through PR teams, not through assistants, but directly. Victoria offered Meghan something she almost never shared: her personal contact network. The real one, the list only royalty and elite insiders ever see. Top stylists, crisis PR experts, discreet spas trusted by global superstars, London's most private fashion power players. It was Victoria's way of saying, "I know how vicious this world is. Let me help you navigate it." And Meghan gratefully accepted. Soon they were photographed together at Wimbledon, smiling, whispering, leaning in like old friends. Victoria even sent pieces from her own fashion line straight to Kensington Palace, a gesture she reserved for the very few who earned her trust.
Meghan wore every piece proudly, praising Victoria's designs in interviews. And insiders whispered that Victoria didn't have to do any of it. She genuinely wanted to help. She wanted Meghan to feel supported. For a while, it looked like a powerful new alliance: the Hollywood Duchess and the British fashion queen. 2 glamorous women standing together against the pressure. But behind the polished photos, something in that friendship was already starting to crack. By late 2019, the energy around Meghan had shifted. She wasn't smiling as easily. She wasn't trusting the way she once did. And people close to her said she felt something was off. Someone was leaking private details to the press. Not public moments, but intimate things. Things only her inner circle knew. And that's when the whispers began. The name being repeated behind closed doors was Victoria Beckham. Most people thought it was impossible. Victoria had protected her own privacy for decades. She wasn't the type to trade secrets for headlines. But Meghan became convinced someone close to her was talking. And she responded the only way she knew how. She cut people off quietly, suddenly, and without explanation. Invitations stopped. Messages went unanswered. The warm Wimbledon moments vanished overnight. And Victoria Beckham, the woman who had opened her world to Meghan, was shut out completely. No confrontation, no call, nothing. By the time Meghan and Harry stepped back from royal duties, the friendship was already gone. The Beckhams were no longer invited, no longer included, no longer part of the circle they once helped Meghan navigate. And what followed was silence. Cold, heavy, and impossible to break. And if that silence had stayed untouched,
maybe the world would never have learned the truth. But silence has limits. It always does. After Meghan quietly cut Victoria out, both women moved on, but the distance never moved with them. It sat there like a wall. Neither one wanted to climb. Victoria focused on her fashion empire. Meghan built a new life in California, surrounded by cameras, deals, interviews, and Hollywood shine. And while the world talked about them separately, nobody realized how deep the quiet break between them really went. Tabloids guessed, fans argued, theories spread across social media, yet neither woman said a single word, not a hint, not a whisper. For years, the truth simply slept beneath the surface, not gone, just waiting. Because some stories don't end in silence. Some stories grow inside it, and Victoria's had been growing for a very long time. The moment that finally pushed everything over the edge was something no one expected. Victoria Beckham has always been more than a fashion icon. She works quietly behind the scenes, especially when it comes to children's health and charity. So when she began planning a major children's hospital fundraiser, she threw months of effort into it. Designs, sponsors, decorations, early payments, every detail mattered. This wasn't business, this was personal. And Meghan Markle was supposed to co-host. Having a duchess on the poster meant millions in donations. It wasn't just attention, it was real help for real children, and everyone expected the partnership to be perfect. Until everything shattered with one message, an email allegedly sent by one of Meghan's aides. It read, "Per Duchess's request, please consider alternative fashion sponsorship concerns have been raised about brand alignment and external press narratives." In plain language, Meghan didn't want Victoria's name attached, and almost instantly Victoria's name vanished from the fundraiser posters. No warning, no thank you, no explanation. Victoria had poured months of work into that event, donated designs, spent her own money, and supported the cause without asking for a single spotlight. And in one sudden decision, she was told she didn't fit the brand. The morning after, Victoria's shocking 7-word declaration stunned the world. The Beckhams made their move. But it wasn't loud, it wasn't dramatic, it was exactly Victoria's style. Calm, simple, precise. David Beckham posted a single photo on Instagram. Him, Victoria, and their daughter. Just a normal family moment. But the caption froze the internet. Truth always comes out in the end. 7 words, no names, no shade, no drama. But he didn't need any. Everyone understood immediately, and the reaction told the whole story. Celebrities quietly liked the post. The rest of the industry watched closely, and for the first time, this wasn't Victoria versus Meghan. It was the world finally seeing what had been hidden for years. It was the Beckham family, standing firm, calm, united, sending a message without raising their voices. And suddenly the silence that once protected everyone cracked open and something new surged in its place. Momentum. The world began leaning toward Victoria. Insiders felt it. Meghan's team felt it. Even Meghan's loyal supporters sensed the shift. Because when the Beckhams make a move, the entire industry pays attention. And this move was only the beginning. After Victoria's explosive moment on that gala stage, everyone expected Meghan to fire back. Maybe an interview, maybe a carefully crafted post, maybe at least a quiet statement from her team. But instead, there was nothing. No response, no clarification, not even a rumor of one. Even Meghan's closest defenders stayed silent. Oprah silent, Serena Williams silent, Prince Harry silent. Paparazzi spotted Harry at an airport during the chaos. Head down, eyes forward, jaw tight. Reporters shouted questions, and he kept walking. And for the first time, that silence didn't look protective. It looked scared. Because every hour Meghan stayed quiet, Victoria's words gained power, weight, credibility. Then, the internet exploded again. A short audio clip appeared, only 14 seconds long. In it, a woman's voice, calm, sharp, and icy, said, "She's lucky I don't say what I know about her." No name, no setup, just the sentence. The uploader claimed it was Meghan talking about Victoria Beckham. Instantly, the world split. Some said it was fake, some swore it was real. And even Meghan's most loyal fans didn't rush to defend her. They went quiet, and that silence said everything. One big fan account suddenly deleted their pinned tweet defending Meghan and replaced it with a single haunting line saying, "If that audio is real, I don't know what to say anymore." And that single sentence sent shockwaves through her entire fan base because even her most loyal supporters were starting to hesitate. And while Victoria stayed completely silent, refusing to post, refusing to defend herself, refusing to fire back, someone close to her quietly spoke to reporters and dropped 5 words that cracked the whole story open, saying she was disappointed but not surprised. And those words rolled through Hollywood like lightning because they didn't attack Meghan by name, but they told the world that Victoria already knew what Meghan was capable of. And suddenly, this was no longer just a broken friendship. It was a quiet Cold War with real stakes. And as that 14-second audio clip spread across the internet like wildfire, everyone waited for Victoria's move. Would she speak? Would she stay silent? Would she finally call Meghan out? And then whispers began spreading through Hollywood. Whispers that Victoria Beckham was considering something she had never done in her entire career, a long-form, sit-down interview with a respected journalist, direct, honest, unfiltered. And for someone like Victoria, who built her image on elegance, mystery, and silence, this possibility was shocking, even unbelievable. And a friend close to her revealed that people only know half the story, and she's ready to tell the rest. And those words rolled through Hollywood like a tremor, because Victoria holds the one thing Meghan's team fears the most: credibility. She doesn't run to tabloids, she doesn't drop hints on podcasts, she doesn't chase attention. She only speaks when it truly matters. And if Victoria decides to sit for a real interview, everyone knows she won't exaggerate, she won't dramatize, she will deliver the truth. And truth from Victoria Beckham would be more than drama, more than gossip, it would be history.